After the Great War, Australia in the 1920s faced hard times. The nation was still reeling from the devastating effects of the conflict, and the economy was struggling to recover. World War I had just ended, and many veterans returned home, hoping to start new lives. They were filled with hope and determination, eager to rebuild their lives and contribute to their country. The government encouraged them to become farmers, offering land as a reward for their service. This was seen as a way to both support the veterans and boost agricultural production. They were given land in Western Australia, a vast and wild region. The promise of fertile land and a fresh start was enticing. The soil, however, proved difficult. It was dry and unforgiving, not the fertile paradise they had been led to believe. Growing crops was a challenge. The harsh conditions made it nearly impossible to cultivate the land successfully. Just as farmers began to recover, a new problem emerged: emus. These large birds became a significant threat to their already fragile livelihoods. These large flightless birds were native to Australia. They were a common sight in the outback, but their presence soon became a menace. They roamed freely, often in large numbers. Their sheer numbers made them a formidable force. The emus, hungry and thirsty, saw farms as easy targets. They invaded the farmlands, searching for food and water. They devoured crops and damaged fences. The destruction they caused was immense and relentless. Farmers, already struggling, faced ruin. Their hard work and dreams were being destroyed by these unexpected invaders. Their pleas for help reached the government, setting the stage for a most unusual conflict. The battle between man and bird was about to begin. Emus are not your average birds. They are tall, powerful, and surprisingly fast. A single emu can grow to over 6 feet tall and weigh over 100 pounds. They can sprint at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. In vast numbers, they became a force of nature. They descended upon farms, gobbling up wheat and leaving a trail of destruction. Fences meant to protect crops proved useless. Emus simply barged through, adding to the farmers' woes. The emus bred quickly. Their numbers swelled and the damage intensified. Farmers grew desperate. Their livelihoods were at stake. The government, facing pressure and fearing an agricultural crisis, decided to act. The government's solution was unusual, even drastic. They would send in the army to fight emus. This decision, made in 1932, seemed like a joke to some. But the government was serious. They deployed soldiers armed with Lewis machine guns, formidable weapons from World War I. The mission was simple: cull the emu population and protect the crops. The government even hired a cinematographer to document the operation, hoping for a propaganda victory. The soldiers, led by Major Meredith of the 7th Heavy Battery of the Royal Australian Artillery, arrived in the Wheat Belt region. They were prepared for war, but not for the enemy that awaited them. The Great Emu War had begun. Entertainment and bewilderment for many. Section 5. Aftermath and implications. Lessons learned. Emus endure. The Great Emu War was a resounding failure for the Australian Army, a campaign that was meant to curb the emu population but ended in a rather embarrassing defeat. Despite their superior firepower and strategic planning, The soldiers couldn't achieve their objective of reducing the emu numbers. The emus, resourceful and resilient, had outsmarted their human adversaries at every turn, using their speed and agility to evade capture. The operation was widely ridiculed, with newspapers and the public mocking the military's inability to defeat a flock of birds. The government, embarrassed by the debacle, eventually withdrew the soldiers, acknowledging the futility of the mission. The emus, victorious and undeterred, continued to thrive in their natural habitat, becoming a symbol of resilience. The Great Emu War became a legendary tale, a reminder of the absurdity of human arrogance in the face of nature's ingenuity and adaptability. Despite the failed extermination attempts, emus remain a common sight in Australia, roaming freely across the landscape. Their numbers are carefully managed today, but they are a symbol of the country's unique wildlife and a reminder of the Great Emu War, a conflict where the birds emerged victorious, showcasing the unpredictable and often humorous side of history.